Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 3rd of July, just before the break for the holiday. Hopefully everyone's got some nice plans. Of course, in Italy they don't do any of that, so it's business as usual. But business as usual for us was expectation that we are going to continue to march towards that 3,000 S&P that I've been projecting since back at the 1,300 levels every year since, as we've been moving towards it, and here it comes. So reasons pretty obvious. We had cyan under red for all this time. We had a little bit of softening of steel, which was just giving us a little bit of a pause, but we had continued acceleration midterm buyers here in the green, and our key, the rising of the histogram from the shakeout. So we could see that breakout was coming, and all we've been doing is following this gold rising, and until that Azure meets, we're thinking that we have plenty of time until there's that meeting point that suggests that maybe we're going to have to see if we're going to continue or have a little bit of a pullback. But all in all, right within our expectations. Nasdaq's still behind, trying to catch up, but still not making relatively new highs in relation to the S&P. That's okay. The euro collapse continues as the debates about replacement. I think now they're talking about Lagarde taking over for Draghi, and well, that'll be an interesting one. That's not going to promote tighter ECB policies, so everyone who got excited about maybe a more conservative approach, not so much. At the same time, you ended up with Trump nominating a gold hawk towards the Fed, which that certainly is going to bode well for gold. But we were talking about the potential Fed easing still, and of course that's what leading to treasuries continuing their massive ascent. Oil, we talked about this, what would happen when everyone talks about it despite the tensions, that potential shale fracking capability of the US to add in. And then there's the big concern about China and their readings. The tariffs that have been placed on them clearly seem to be having some impact as they're slowing dramatically. So if that will bring them to the table or not, we'll see. But it certainly has caused that entire crisis of Iran and that to kind of be pulled back completely already. So I mean, it's just like a complete fall off the cliff. No shocker with that. And then of course gold there with the little announcement, but gold, we already knew that was going to be just a small retest to fill it in the positive extreme. In this particular case, we were seeing that beautiful readings of cyan under red. It wasn't going to be hard to depict. And in fact, we talked about it the other day, just that as soon as this cyan started to move lower, that was going to be a significant jump. Intraday was beautiful. We were starting to put some posts up right around here where we had this buy, but it was within a kind of a weak consideration. Then we got down towards the 50K, and I said, all you need to do because we don't have a steel reset, is to look for steel crossing above cyan. At the same time, you get green. That left the buy entry right around anywhere. I was talking about it from these 50% lines, but anywhere in between there was fine. Sure enough, popped up. But I also said that because we didn't have a supporting 50K, that we were going to probably have to wait a little bit for it to finally iron itself out, but that we would be able to catch it early. So then the DLC spread sell signal came a little bit further up here as it continued to move across, and then boom, that led to filling back all the way into these lows, which then gave us a great new buy setup down at the bottom here. Beautiful crossover of the yellow above magenta, and off to the races we went. We even had secondary buys with the orange dip in that, and that's led us to where we're at now. If we look at the 50K, we can see its transition. So here's the 50K. Let me just enlarge this a little bit. And you'll find this is a slightly different read to the Opus that you have, simply because it's one of the adjustment ones that I'm working on that will allow for these setups within the ABM that produce the proper configuration of the gold to magenta, as well as being within a range where you don't have a steel reset. So it took that one. But what we were talking about going forward there was that we had some weakness, and it was just a matter, we were right about this crossing point of cyan to move under red, and it was just a matter of, I said we would see it on the 5K first, which is where we get the dip, and that's what led to the ultimate cyan below red, giving us the confirmation within the 50K. So the 5K certainly giving us the heads up, and knowing that we were likely to transition to a bullish 50 works out beautifully, just like we planned, as if we knew. And we did know because we talked about it. So go figure. As always, though, if there's anything new or relevant, I will pop it up, and I hope everyone takes time out to enjoy the 4th and celebrating another year of America surviving. As always, trade well. We'll talk again later.